The second worst day in my life that I will not forget, it was sometime in 2011, sitting in my office and the phone rang. Oh, it's a kid brother from my state. He was in oil business. He wanted me to assist him. He has some difficulties. I tried to talk with him on the phone, tried to counsel him. A lot of people call me for counseling and mentorship, which I believe is important for business. At the end of the day, he convinced me to come and see what he's doing. I went with my wife to see what he's doing, and I was fascinated looking at how far he has built his business, and he's looking for a line. I was sitting in two public quoted banks. One of them were owning about 70% equity in one of the banks. And I tried to get the banks to support him, and they were not willing to support him. So I said, okay, fine, I will guarantee the transaction. You put the credit under my name, and I parted with over $300 million. The first was, we did this systematically. The first one was a vessel load of PPMC. The consignment came within 45 days, it cleaned up. The second one, he was goading me. I didn't know that was it. But before December 2011, he came with 6 documents and said if I did this for him, that this is all that I would have done for him in life. We've done several transactions, about 6, and they were all successful. At the timely, he paid at the correct period, no issue. So I did 6 documents at a time. And something I never had in my life, in business history. It wasn't cash that I gave him. A letter of credit was opened from the bank, and then we had documents waiting for the consignment till today. The consignment never arrived in Nigeria. The guy went abroad, connived with the shipping company. He nominated the vessel and sold the consignment offshore. And I was left with a liability of over 21 billion naira. Every month, interest is dropping in my account worth $300 million, worth 300 million naira on a monthly basis. So it's like a man who had an accident bleeding. If you don't stop it, you can bleed to death, because under prudential guideline, a director of bank cannot get waiver for interest rate. Trying to solve this problem made me, because I am truly a committed person, if I made a promise to you, I will keep it regardless of what it took. I sold all my stake in one of the institutions where I am a director, and I was having a controlling share to pay off that debt. My franchise was threatening, because this was not something you planned for. And that's why, when we talk about success, you don't get to any point and say you have arrived, because there are obstacles you meet along the line.
One day, Stanley called me. There was this young man that used to help him. He used to supply diesel to Julius Berger. That young man died, and he needed some money. If I can introduce him to First Bank, whether they can do business with him. He didn't ask me to give him money. I said, do you run account with that First Bank? I said, send me the statement of your account, and I'll tell you now. Stanley never asked me for money. Many of you believe I'm very stingy. Yes, I'm very stingy. I'm one of the most stingiest person in Anambra, because I worked hard for my money and I don't throw it around. So I have value for every 1 naira I spend, but I look for something that is important. Ask Stanley. Stanley told me when he saw a lot in his account, he opened the phone fell out of his hand. I wired 150 million naira in his account. This was several years ago. 150 million naira. I said, do whatever you are going to do, return the money to me, but please be careful. I sat Stanley down and talked to him. I said, there are ways you are going, don't go that way. Listen, life is how much you can impact people's life. If it's only one person, you can make a difference in Anambra State. Stanley didn't return that money until the second year, but he returned it in full. And we didn't go to court with it. And please listen to me. I didn't write any agreement with him. He could call me the following day and tell me, sorry, you didn't give me any money. For many of you who think I am very stupid, I've impacted people's life. For some of you who do not know, we are not here to advertise Stanley, but if you want to know, I feel very proud that Stanley today is a billionaire, but I shared in that success because I impacted in his life. And I wish you can change the way you are thinking. Hopefully, somebody can see something that is motivating you and give you a helping hand. God bless you.